And we're back. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be setting up this 55-gallon auxiliary water tank at my house, and I'm inviting you to follow along in the process. Let's get started. At the time of making this video, we are in an unprecedented drought situation here in the western half of the United States. If we have another dry winter, which is being predicted, we're going to be in very serious trouble. I believe life-threatening for many people. The truth of the matter is, water is one of those resources that you can only go a short time without. Food and other items that we often talk about in preparedness circles really should be secondary to this life-sustaining prep. In the past, I've touted buying these gallon jugs of water as an easy way to meet the required 1 gallon a day per person minimum in any emergency water storage supply. March of 2020, though, showed us that that's not always a reliable system to use. Store shelves were empty, this water was not available, and since that time many stores are limiting how much of this stuff they'll allow each customer to purchase at any given time. It's a good idea to stop during this time and look at water supplies as a very important, probably primary concern in any emergency response plan, and that's why I decided to add this small auxiliary tank to our supply. Okay, I've decided to set the tank up in this location in my garage. Due to the water spout being angled downward and at the bottom of the tank, I've decided to go ahead and build a base for this thing out of some scrap plywood that I have, and additionally I'm going to put that on top of some concrete blocks just to hold this thing up off the floor a little bit. I've read that putting the plastic tank directly on the concrete is not good. There are other arguments to that, but really my reason for doing this will be easier access to a hose on the bottom of the tank when I need to drain it or access water in it. 55 gallons of water weighs roughly 460 pounds, and since I only had 1/2-inch plywood, I decided to double it up. Okay, I did a simple pattern here with some block. I spread it out so that it'll have a bigger footprint to support the weight of this tank, and then we're simply going to place our plate that we built out of scrap plywood on there, and we'll set the tank. And before I do my final fill on the tank, I'm just going to take a little bit of bleach and some water and clean out the tank, swish it around a little bit, rinse it out really good, and that'll give us the best chance of having water that's the least contaminated in any way that we're storing for some length of time. Okay, after a few slight adjustments on my block, I've got what I believe to be a very adequate foundation, a little footer underneath the tank, if you will. Additionally, I don't have too bad of a drop. As many of you, I'm sure, know, your slab in your garage is not level. It slopes from the house going out to the garage door. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm not going to worry about trying to shim this up or trying to level it in any way. It'll only make a weaker base underneath the tank, and additionally, if I did have a water leak for some reason, the water will run out underneath the garage door. Okay, our tank is filled up. I'm going to put the lid on. One of the things you want to be aware of, this tank comes with a spring-loaded vent cap that you don't want to block off. We'll just screw our lid on, and we're good to go. One of the advantages I like about the water-prepared tanks is I can buy another unit of the same size and stack it on top of this one. They also make larger tanks if finances and space allow. Some of you might be wondering, is he going to add any water preserver into the tank? That's completely up to you. There are some that believe that the chemicals that are added to the municipal water supplies are ample to keep water fresh in a tank like this. You can also buy commercial water preservers. I'm just going to use some simple household bleach that is unscented. There's no additional chemicals or other additives in the bleach that I buy. Commercial water preservers that you buy are made out of sodium hypochlorite. If you take a simple bottle of bleach like this and look at the main ingredients, you'll see that sodium hypochlorite is one of the primary ingredients in this bleach. So do your own research on that and follow your own conclusion. I think it's important when you're talking about an emergency water response plan to look at a multi-layered approach. I have gallon jugs of water that I buy that we've talked about just earlier in the video. We've added some additional water storage in this tank. I also am aware of any other resources in and around my home, like my hot water tank, plumbing lines, that type of thing. But in a situation where maybe those things are exhausted, I think it's important to know how to chemically treat and filter water for safe consumption. Last year we did a video talking about, and I showed you how to build this DIY water filtration system that I want to quickly just do a cursory overview again today as one more layer in your approach to emergency water. You simply take two 5-gallon buckets. One of them, I drilled 2 holes in the lid. We drilled 2 holes on the bottom. You'll stack those in there where they line up. These Berkey filters, which are widely believed to be some of the best you can buy, have a simple stud on the bottom of them with a wing nut. You loosen that up, put those through the holes that I just showed you drilled, and you've got 2 filters that sandwich this whole assembly together. You stack this on top of the other bucket, you fill this up with water, it drains down into this bucket, and that's a very simple, effective system for emergency water filtration. I think it's also important to have some simple coffee filters around as well, and that'll help you filter out any large particulate matter when you're just filling something up, or if you're getting water out of a stream, a reservoir, etc. The video that I just mentioned has some comprehensive information in it about chemical treatment as well as this filtration system and boiling, so be sure to watch that and get yourself squared away on how you can respond to all kinds of situations involving emergency water needs. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. You know, water really is something that you should spend a considerable amount of time planning and thinking about with your household. With the drought that we're facing in this part of the country, I believe it's a fool's errand to ignore this life-sustaining resource. If you appreciate the content that we've provided in today's video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Those things help the YouTube algorithm expose our videos to more people. And as always, remember, get ready so that you and your family can succeed and thrive. And we're back. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be setting up this 55-gallon water tank at my home, and I'm enjoying. And be prepared.